and welcome back to OATS UNCUT, where we dig into communication, civic life, and the conversations that shape us. I am Vineeta Khanna, founder of Orator Academy, and today we are getting seriously funny. That's right, we are talking about humor. Not stand up comedy, not open mic, but everyday intentional humor that either connects us to the people in the room or completely falls flat. And yes, I have personally been on both sides. Because if you know me at all, and people who know me well know that I can often crack myself up mid-sentence. So today, with great irony, the woman who laughs at her own jokes, I'm going to teach you about humor in communication. So let's get started. Here's something I want you to sit with. The most memorable communicators in history are the ones who moved audiences, changed minds, built movements. Almost all of them used humor. Not constantly, not as a distraction, strategically, with intention. And humor works for three very specific reasons. One, it lowers defenses. When someone laughs, their guard comes down. They stop waiting to disagree with you and start actually listening. Now, there's a moment of shared humanity. We both find this funny, so maybe we agree on more than we thought. Number two, humor makes things memorable. If I gave you 10 statistics about civic participation, you'd forget 9 of them by tomorrow. But wrap one of those statistics in a funny story, you'll be telling it at dinner next week. Third, humor signals confidence. When you can be a little playful, you're telling your audience, I'm so comfortable in this space, I can afford to make you laugh. That's presence and that's power. Now let's look at 3 world-class communicators who understood this deeply and used humor in ways we can all learn from. Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln was famously funny, self-deprecating, sharp, and always purposeful with his wit. When political opponent Stephen Douglas once tried to embarrass him by pointing out that Lincoln had worked as a bartender early in his life, Lincoln calmly replied, "What Mr. Douglas has said is true enough. I did keep a general store and sold cotton and candles and cigars and sometimes whiskey, but I particularly remember that Mr. Douglas was one of my best customers." The crowd roared. Douglas had handed Lincoln the moment. Lincoln also loved poking fun at himself, particularly his looks. He once told a story about a man who stopped him on the street and said he had promised himself years ago that if he ever met a man uglier than himself, he would shoot him. Lincoln looked at the man's rifle, pulled open his shirt, threw out his chest, and exclaimed, "If I am uglier than you, go ahead and shoot because I don't want to live." And it wasn't just for laughs. Lincoln always insisted he was a retailer, not a wholesaler of stories that made him famous. And historians noted that under the laughter of his stories was concealed some of his soundest reasoning. He once famously said, "I laugh because I must not cry. That's all, that's all." Humor for Lincoln was both shield and a sword. Then Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Most of us think that Dr. King we think about him through the weight of his words, and rightly so, but he had a wonderfully disarming wit about him that his closest friends remembered just as vividly. Congressman John Lewis recalled traveling through Mississippi with Dr. King when they passed a small roadside restaurant. King looked at it and said, "We should stop and get something to eat. If we get arrested and go to jail, we'll go on a full stomach." And he thought it was so funny. And in a 1968 appearance on The Tonight Show, Dr. King shared this gem of a story. "I flew out of Washington," he said, "this afternoon, and as soon as we boarded, they notified us that the plane had mechanical difficulties, and that kept us on the ground for an hour. Finally, we took off, and whenever I land after mechanical difficulties, I'm always very happy. I don't want to give you the impression that as a Baptist preacher, I don't have faith in God in the air. It's just that I had more experience with Him on the ground." The audience laughed, the tension broke, and then he spoke about justice. That sequencing, laugh, then lean in, is a masterclass in communication. Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is beloved not just for her grace and her message, but her wit. She deploys humor with precision, always warm, always grounded in real life. On a late show appearance, during a top 10 list about gardening tied to her White House kitchen garden, she worked through the list with a straight face and saved the best for last, declaring that with enough care and effort, you can grow your own broccoli. The audience lost it, and in that one silly punch, she was more relatable, more human, and more memorable than any policy talking point could ever have made her. And when Jimmy Kimmel asked her about spending time in Hawaii, she quipped, "That's why I married Barack. He was from Hawaii." I was like, "Yeah, you're cute. Your ears are a little big, and you're from where? Oh, I think I love you." Self-deprecating, playful, real. That's Michelle Obama formula, and it works every single time. So what do Lincoln, King, and Michelle Obama all have in common? None of them were trying to be funny. They were being human. They were sharing a moment, and in doing so, they made their audiences trust them more, listen longer, and remember what was said. Now, here's what you can take from that right now, today. 1. Use your own real stories. Lincoln's funniest moments came from his actual life. Michelle's best lines came from her actual marriage. The humor that lands is always rooted in truth. So if something funny happened to you on the way to this conversation, use it. 2. Pause after the moment. Give the room time to arrive at the funny. Don't rush past it. Don't explain it. God forbid you have to. And don't, and I say this as someone who does exactly this, start laughing before your audience has had time to process it and react to it. Let the moment land. Number 3, match your humor to your context. Dr. King read the Tonight Show room and gave them a relatable travel story. He wasn't cracking jokes at a march. Context is everything. Read your room before you play your card. And number 4, when in doubt, smile. Even when a moment doesn't land perfectly, a genuine smile says, "I am at ease and so can you be." Confidence is the most contagious thing in any room. Here's what I want to leave you with. Humor is not a frill. It's not an extra credit. It's not something reserved for naturally funny people. Whatever that means. Humor is a fundamental human connector. It's how we say, "I see you, I'm with you, and we are in this together." The best communicators don't choose between being serious and being funny. They know that laughter can open a door that logic alone cannot. Lincoln knew it, Dr. King knew it, and Michelle Obama knows it. And whether you're speaking to a boardroom, a school auditorium, a community meeting, or a microphone on a podcast, bring your full human self. That includes the lightness, that includes the warmth, that includes even the moment where you laugh at yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on OATS Uncut. If this episode made you smile, share it with someone who could use a reminder that the best thing you can bring to any conversation is simply, genuinely you. Until next time, I am Vineeta Khanna. Keep your voice clear, your heart open, and your sense of humor close. Take care of yourself and take care of everyone around you. We shall meet again with much love. Proceed.